Natural purgatory. So many naturals face a point in their lifting career where they literally stop making progress. They'll get to, like, let's say 2 plate bench. They'll get to a 2 plate bench, and then next thing you know, a year passes by. They're still at 2 plates. Another year passes by. 2 plates and maybe a 10. Another year passes by. They're back at 2 plates. What is the common factor when it comes to being stuck in natural purgatory? Natty purgatory. So there's only really 4 factors that it comes down to, and that's going to be volume, frequency, intensity, and recovery. Now, you guys may have noticed that we spelt that wrong, but you know that looks scientific when you have the little e up there. But anyways, back to the video. So when you don't have your volume, your frequency, and your intensity in check, it can easily mess with this. This right here is where all the magic happens. This is where all the magic happens. So with your recovery, the main thing that you want to do to maximize this, aside from this, and we're going to go in depth with how you want to have your ratios when it comes to these 3. But the main contributors to recovery, I guess there's technically 4, but we'll keep it simple right now. It's going to be sleep, nutrition, and hydration. Love the handwriting. But sleep, nutrition, hydration. Sleep. Honestly, this is a very lucrative topic to talk about because even me myself, I've been able to still somehow make gains on a bad sleeping schedule, but that just comes down to how high quality my sleep is. But not only that, other days throughout the week, I make up for it. So it's almost like I'm setting myself up to be able to still hit those PRs, still make that progress. So you want to make sure that you're sleeping. Some people can get away with like 6, but preferably 7 or 9. 7 or 9 hours, classic. If you get a little less, as long as the quality's up, that's perfect too. Now, nutrition. Another thing you want to ask yourself, are you bulking or cutting? Because if you're cutting, you're almost guaranteed to be here. But if you are guaranteed to be here while you're cutting, that is the best possible outcome that you could ask for. Because what does it mean when you're in natural purgatory on the cut? That means you're still maintaining all your muscle, all your strength. You're literally coming down so fucking lean that it's just crazy. And you feel great. But if you're bulking, when you bulk, that means these are going to shift. Your ratios, what you're able to recover from, is going to shift, and that's going to allow you to boost out of it.
I need to reset the Wi-Fi. I need the Wi-Fi.
I don't need Wi-Fi.
I know, but I need it.
You got to get back there?
Yes.
This still works. I'm going to just cover this. This is censored. Nobody can see this. This is the wife. Introduction.
This is not how I should be looking on your page at all.
She looks perfect. Anyways, now another factor for hydration. Another factor for recovery is hydration. The amount of hydration that you want is ideally a minimum of 1 gallon. I've always felt my best in my workouts, in my recovery, just overall joint health, everything was optimized when I was at least a gallon. There are times where, for I don't even know, like months where I was at 2 gallons, but that's just because I would chug a gallon before I even got to the gym. So I was coming in fully hydrated, and it was crazy. Now, we're gonna move on to what I like to call 2 to 1. What is the 2 to 1 rule? So the 2 to 1 rule is going to be.
Ahí guardé los brownies, Grandma. Huh? Guardé los brownies in el refri. Oh.
So the 2 to 1 rule is gonna be 2 of these can be up, 1 of these can be down, and you're gonna choose because it all comes down to how you train, what exactly you prefer to train with. Like, you know, some people, they like higher volume, higher frequency. You're gonna have to drop the intensity. Otherwise, because you literally, as a natural, you will not be able to do all 3 of these unless you're on steroids. But high volume, high frequency, moderate to lower intensity, high intensity, high frequency, more volume. Honestly, at a certain point, your intensity gets so high that you can't even do high volume or high frequency. But anyways, 2 to 1. So in my case, currently, right now, my volume, we'll just say it's at a level 1 intensity, and we'll do, let's see, ratings, level, let's say 1 through 3. That'll give you a good scope. Intensity, 3. Trying to keep it as high as I possibly can. My frequency is a 2. That's usually what it's going to look like for your ratios. So in other cases, people have the 3 on volume, 2 on frequency, and 1 on intensity. But you pretty much just kind of mix it around. It's generally going to look like this. There can be times where, honestly, it would really look different if you wanted like a 3-3-1. But generally, the 3-2-1 spread from any of these is going to give you the best results. It's going to allow you to recover. It's going to allow you to make progress, and it's going to get you out of this shit right here. Now, volume. How do you calculate volume? You want to pay attention to this. Are you bulking or cutting? Because all of these, they're connected in one way, shape, or form. So if you're bulking, this one can easily turn into like a 1.5. We'll say like a 1.5. When you're cutting, honestly, the volume can turn into just a 1 flat. Now, I'm going to be moving this arrow everywhere, so this is going to look like chicken scratch. Just keep it a buck. If you're bulking, your frequency can probably go up to like a 2.2, because as a 2, you already have a pretty high frequency as it is. Especially, now this is the case, then you have very high intensity. 2 is honestly perfect. But there may be a point where you can get to a 2.2. You're cutting, it's just going to stay at 2 flat. Honestly, sometimes it could even be a 1.8. And mind you, these numbers are just the levels in which each of these are at. Now, for the primary, which is going to be where you have the most at, this is just going to have to stay at 3 regardless, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get out of here. So, for this, it's going to be constant. Constant. I love the handwriting so much. So, in order to escape natural purgatory, control your volume, control your frequency, control your intensity. You're going to want to divide them up into what will allow you to optimize your recovery. So that means some of you guys are going to like the higher volume, high frequency, drop the intensity. Some of you guys are going to like high frequency, high intensity, drop the volume. Some of you guys are going to want to just kill yourself. Intensity, volume, frequency is going to be shot. I never really recommend high intensity, high volume. It's not fun. Your recovery is going to just be retarded. As a natural, it's probably the dumbest setup. Unless you're only training like literally twice a week, and sure, go for it. But preferably it would be a volume frequency or a intensity frequency. And the other would be low. And recovery, I cannot stress this enough. A lot of people, they mistake recovery for just being calories in, calories out. Yes, very important. But if you don't address the micronutrients, you're going to just feel like shit. So sure, you'll be hitting your macros. It'll fit in your macros, blah, blah, blah. You're going to feel like shit if you don't have the proper micronutrients. I got to get the point across. And it has to hit them one way or another. You're going to feel like caca, mierda, you know? But if you don't get your micronutrients on point, you can just say goodbye to any hopes of feeling good. Because your micronutrients are going to make recovery 10 times better. It's going to make your body feel 10 times better. And your body's literally going to thank you. It's going to be like, wow, you're actually supplying me with what I need in order to continue to make progress. Because at the end of the day, Natty Purgatory just means that you're not progressively overloading. To get out of that, you got to do what you got to do. And honestly, the craziest thing is, even on a cut, you can still build muscle. Is it hard? Yes. Is it likely as a natural? No, but it's still possible, and it can be done, and it has been done multiple times, not only by myself, but by many other people. And in order to do that, I believe this plays a key role. And 100% this ratio right here plays the ultimate role. Because this is going to make this easier. And the last thing I want to touch on is definitely the sleep, the hydration, and the bonus that I was talking about. So for all you guys that stayed till the end of this video, you guys are getting the secret sauce. So your sleep, I talked about quality. Honestly, I'm pretty sure you guys already know how to get good quality sleep. All you got to do, careful with the blue light. See, like me right now, I'm wearing blue light glasses. These are prescription, by the way. And make sure that when you sleep, it's deep. Make sure that the environment that you're sleeping in, nice and cold. It allows you to sleep deeper very easily. Hydration. Minimum 1 gallon. Can go up to 2. Wouldn't really recommend like 3 unless you're literally like just some elite monster of a being, just an absolute unit. Then you're actually probably going to need that much water. But minimum 1 gallon. Get up to there between 2. You're going to feel buttery. You're going to feel smooth. You're going to notice a lot of things. Skin's going to start clearing up a bit. Bloating isn't really going to be a thing. Joints are going to feel nice. Muscular output's going to be great. things like that. And last but not least, you're good.
I hit my
Stress management. You guys definitely can't read this, but that's okay, because I'm going to talk to you about it. Now, stress management. If you don't manage your stress properly, I'm not saying you don't have to experience stress at all, but if you don't manage it properly, your recovery is going to be trash. And the only reason why is because stress causes the most catabolic hormone to be pumped like candy or like gas into a truck. Not just any truck, a diesel crazy trucker truck, commercial. But it's going to start pumping cortisol. This is what you don't want. Because the moment that you have a bunch of cortisol in your system, this is where you become highly inflamed. This is where you start bloating like crazy. This is where certain biological functions start shutting down. And this is where your metabolism starts shutting down. This is where digestion gets worse. It's like the root of all evil. Even your muscles are going to start waning. And your body's just going to be like, well, oh well. This is going to allow you to put on the fat, have worse skin, worse eyes, worse hair, everything. So keeping cortisol low is going to be crucial. And honestly, how do you do that? Well, for one, sleep, nutrition, hydration. Now, what exactly in nutrition will help cortisol tremendously? And this is something that I love talking about. My favorite macronutrient. Carbohydrates. This right here. This is literally the holy grail. Because obviously if you're sleep shot, cortisol is going to raise. What can help lower that? Carbohydrates. Just don't have an excess of fat with them. That's another video. But why are carbohydrates so important? The thing about carbohydrates is they actively downregulate cortisol and stress hormones. They regulate blood sugar, all that good stuff. Obviously, well, they spike the blood sugar. But they handle a lot of processes in the body. And they work really well against your stress hormones. They keep them downregulated. They keep inflammation low. And they help your body literally turn into a furnace. So what you'll notice when you have a proper carbohydrate intake is that your metabolism is going to start speeding up. Literally, your body temperature is going to start raising. Like, you get to a point you're eating enough carbs, you literally feel like a furnace. And you'll be like, what the heck is going on? I don't know why, but I'm literally burning up. I'm just sitting here. And that's because of carbohydrate intake. Your body's literally running like a train with somebody just nonstop shoveling coal in it. But not only that, carbohydrates are going to give you a lot of energy. Way more efficient than protein. And that, man, another video. Oh God, I have too many videos that I'm going to be making for you guys. But anyway, staying on topic. Carbohydrates. How do they affect these? Carbohydrates boost everything that I've talked about inside of this video. It'll allow you to have a good amount of volume because it'll allow you to push in your workouts. You'll be able to sustain a higher frequency because on your recovery aspect, you're going to recover way quicker from workouts because you're going to have more readily available energy. And your intensity is going to be high because your glycogen stores are full. Glycogen literally is the most readily available form of energy that'll allow you to start pushing like crazy. And onto the recovery aspect, I already talked about it. But with that being said, make sure that you have good carbs. You can go ahead, eat a little bit of candy here and there. Honestly, yes, it's still a carb, but at the end of the day, it's refined. A lot of bad ingredients. Those ingredients can affect your metabolism and things like that in negative ways, which is why I wouldn't really recommend it. If you want to, that's on you. I don't really care. Bulking or cutting, really think about it. Be smart. But my go-to are going to be the starches, the complex carbohydrates, the oats. I would say cereal, but some cereals aren't really complex at all. But the oats, the rice, and the potatoes and beans. Those four, the most amazing carbohydrate sources that I've ever dealt with. You can still eat bread too, but I find for me personally, bread can cause unnecessary bloating. Obviously, a lot of people are very tolerant with it, and it really just depends on the amount that you're eating too. But I can eat a bunch of potatoes. I'm gonna feel great. I'm not gonna bloat, and I'm gonna have energy for days. I can eat a bunch of rice. Careful with the rice though. In one sitting, would not recommend it. It will spike your blood sugar so high that you'll want to go to sleep right after. But yeah, those are going to be the preferred carbohydrate sources. And that's it for the video.